Hey everyone, I'm Jesse Jace. Remember that kind of lighthearted video I made about the song from Fortnite? Well, it's about to get serious. Have you ever felt stupid? Sure you have. We all have. I sure have. One time when I was a freshman in college, I ran up the steps of the lecture pit where I was taking this psychology class, and at the top of the steps I tripped over my own feet, fell face first into a concrete pillar, wham! Got the corner right there. Broke my glasses, bled all over the place, and yeah, felt stupid. Partly because it happened about 3 meters away from a girl I kinda liked at the time. Feeling stupid isn't fun. You want it to end as soon as possible. You want to fast forward to the time where everyone has forgotten how stupid you were and now is back to thinking you're smart like normal. But the problem is you can't do that, and you can't control what other people think of you. Not immediately anyway. You're basically at the mercy of their opinions. There's no shortcut to changing them. Or is there? Some people think there is a shortcut, and it comes in the form of making yourself look so much smarter than everyone else that no one will ever think you're stupid again. And what better way to make yourself look smarter than everyone than by claiming super secret knowledge that no one else has? By adopting a smug, irritating attitude and constantly saying things like, "You really believe everything they tell you?" or "Wake up, sheeple." If you find yourself behaving like that, congratulations. You very well could be a member of the sad fraternity of conspiracy theory marks. People who fall for the unlikely more easily than for the obvious. People who are predisposed to rejecting official narratives and instead embracing fantastical explanations for any inconvenient truth. People who engage in mental gymnastics to avoid feeling stupid. Too lazy to get vaccinated? Here, have a conspiracy theory that provides the logical contortion necessary to justify that laziness by rebranding it as virtue. Don't want to acknowledge that your home country's history of belligerence around the world might have resulted in a world climate where some people might like to see your country harmed? Well, there's a conspiracy theory for that too. Don't enjoy the thought that a politician other than the one you voted for won the election? Conspiracy theories have your fragile ass covered. Speaking of the psychology class where I smashed my own head open as a younger man, here's some beginner level psychology for you. When someone holds two conflicting understandings, it creates a sensation called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is so undesirable, so unpleasant an experience, that the person feeling it will do almost anything to escape it, including radically altering their beliefs. The classic example is the smoker who understands that he's addicted to nicotine and is then confronted with the knowledge that smoking's bad for your health. He might go out of his way to rationalize his decision not to quit smoking, maybe by convincing himself of something that's not true. For example, that the health risks aren't really that bad, or that he's actually on the road to quitting and therefore there's nothing to worry about. It's all peaches and honey until, oops, emphysema. This cognitive dissonance is also one potential reason why people create nonsense ideas or endorse nonsense ideas they've heard about despite any amount of evidence to the contrary. An example of a conspiracy theory that could be fueled by cognitive dissonance is the one pushed by American internet talk show host Alex Jones, who repeatedly claims that high-profile mass shootings, which pose a threat to Jones's access to firearms by highlighting the need for tougher gun laws, are actually false flag operations designed to systematically erode the Second Amendment. Alex is a selfish sociopath, and it's intellectually too much trouble for him to simultaneously love guns and recognize their role in the 2012 Newtown, Connecticut mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School. So instead he chooses to believe that the shooting is part of some nefarious government plot to take away everyone's guns. And that's why he's being deplatformed and sued, and will soon be off the air if there's any good in the world at all. By the way, if you're interested in knowing more about Alex Jones, I highly recommend the podcast Knowledge Fight, which does an excellent job of cataloging and analyzing his ever-growing resume of lies and greed. But cognitive dissonance isn't the only dynamic at work when it comes to people believing stupid garbage. If there's anything people hate more than feeling stupid, it's feeling like a loser, even when they are, in point of fact, losers. For a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump in 2020, politics and voting were less about civic duty or shaping society, and more like team sports. But unlike team sports where your favorite team loses and then you get on with your life because who cares, it's sports, their reaction was more like, oh no, society's in danger, the voting machines are rigged, and the politicians I don't like are satanic pedophiles. Anything to avoid admitting that maybe I sided with the less popular candidate. I mean, how else could you explain this king-size wad of superheated charisma and whip-smart intelligence not winning an election?
Even removed many boxes to Chinatown. You believe that? Can't explain it. Why were they in Chinatown? I don't know.
Sorry for taking so long to get to my point, but these conspiracy theories all piss me off. Not just for the reasons I've mentioned already, but also, lest we forget, they're patently idiotic. Some people believe that certain political leaders are actually clones or body doubles. They pore over images of Joe Biden's ears, saying, "That's not really Joe Biden." Well, first of all, if it's a clone, was he cloned at birth? We don't have the technology to rapidly age a clone and catch the clone up to the age of the person from whom he was cloned. And we didn't have cloning technology when Joe Biden was born, so it doesn't add up. And anyway, who cares if he's a clone? If people call him the president and we let him participate in the presidency and he speaks on behalf of the real president, then is there any functional difference between the president and his clone? I don't care if there are 8 clones of the president. As far as I'm concerned, they're all the president. Hail to the chiefs.
We're spending more
Corn Pop was a bad dude. Not a joke.
Look,
It's the same thing with the sovereign citizen clowns who think the US government is somehow illegitimate because it's based on this misguided belief that the United States is actually a corporation rather than a country. When they break the law, they think they'll destroy the authorities with facts and logic.
You are in contempt, Mr. Tatalgate. No, you don't be quiet right now. I will have you arrested.
But it always ends the same way.
What are we doing?
How about those people who believe that the premise of the movie The Matrix is real?
I know this steak doesn't exist.
To the point where they think it doesn't matter what they do because it's all a simulation, and if you don't understand that, then you're asleep or whatever. Whoa. Great. Enjoy that. Enjoy spending 5 years in simulated prison because you committed a felony. It doesn't matter if the Matrix is real, or if the US is a corporation, or if aliens shot JFK, or if Hunter Biden is a Bigfoot. None of these premises change the status quo for you and me. There's a term LARPing, which is short for live action role playing. That's a pastime, in case you don't know, where adolescents and even grown adults don costumes, hit each other with foam swords while yelling, "2 damage, 2 damage," or throw beanbags at each other to represent magic spells. I tried it once. It was interesting, but once was plenty. It's not something I want to do constantly, and I can't understand the mindset of those who constantly inhabit a fantasy version of reality in which the military's always just about to swoop in, arrest Hillary Clinton, deport all the Jewish people, and declare Trump president forever. It's all just fanciful edging. It contributes nothing to the world. In fact, the impact these conspiracy theories have on people with tendency toward mental and emotional instability is measurably negative. The same people whose lives have reached a place dark enough to foster beliefs in morbid, violent belief systems like QAnon are the same people who are more likely to be pushed to committing atrocious acts as a result of those belief systems. These sick fantasies, which serve no purpose but to entertain their believers, result in real harm to real people. I'm not suggesting that believing a certain thing should be outlawed. That would be silly. Even if it weren't despotic, it's not enforceable. But if you're the kind of person who tends to believe any of the kinds of theories I talked about in this video, I entreat you to take a look at yourself and decide whether that's the way you want to pass your time. Consider whether knowing something that no one else knows is really worth the risk of repelling your family and friends. Whether the benefits will even approach counterbalancing the toll that thinking about it takes on your emotional health. If I'm your acquaintance and you try to feed me a line like, "Look into Roswell," or "Google Bohemian Grove," you're not helping me. You're not even helping yourself. You don't look smarter or less like a loser. Your only accomplishment is to piss me off.